them down. Cause it was some mistake. Put them down. Put him away now. Mistake. Yo, Mr. Marshall, Benjai.
My UNC family, all you looking good? We are moving away from virtual and we are back on the road. And we are back on the road to victory for the next election in Trinidad and Tobago. If you are ready for victory, let me hear you tonight. My political leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, is the best Prime Minister Trinidad and Tobago ever had. My colleagues, fellow MPs, councillors, my UNC family, I want to recognize Archbishop Barbara Burke, a woman who has stood and fought for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. A woman who, under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, had a school, St. Barbara's School, built. That school, yes, that deserves a round of applause because the PNM never built a school for the Baptists in this country. That St. Barbara's School falls within the constituency of St. Augustine. And because of that, I keep close with the church and the members there. And last, we have the Baptist, the Spiritual Shouter Baptist Holiday Fast approaching. Last year, they didn't get money until the month of May, and they get a little pittance. This year, the Baptists are yet to get monies for the Baptist celebration. And so I take this opportunity to call on the government, to call on Prime Minister Rowley to give the Baptist community their monies before the Baptist celebration on the 30th of March. My friends, on Wednesday in Parliament, we will debate the EBC report, the 10th report of the Election and Boundaries Commission. What is this report? This report is required, the EBC is required to submit a report to the Parliament not less than 2, but more than 3 years from the date of submission of the last report. This report is important because it will set out the boundaries for the seats for the local elections within each regional corporation. So if they have to change a boundary, it must come in that report and it must come by the date required by law. The EBC will define and review the boundaries of each electoral district in that report. They will send that report to the minister, and then it goes to cabinet, and then it goes to Parliament. The last report that was due, we ain't seen no report. Then they send a letter, they say, well, COVID, they ask for a 1-year deferral. Okay, they are allowed to do that under law. When we didn't see the report come, we start to ask questions. No answers from the EBC, no answers from President Paula May Weeks, no answers from the Minister of Local Government, no answers from the PNM. It wasn't until Kamala Prasad Bisesa threatened to take legal action that the government hurry up and bring the report to Parliament. They told us there was an administrative error. It disappeared. But we know the PNM. The PNM has a history of postponing elections in this country. Every time they have the opportunity. There was an election due in 2006, I'm going way back. I became a councillor in 2003. There was supposed to be an election in 2006. The PNM, under Manning, postponed that election to 2007, then to 2008, then to 2009. And it wasn't until Kamala Prasad Bisesa became Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago that local government elections were called. And there was a whitewash. The UNC won hands down in that election. And it wasn't only under Manning. Under Rowley administration, the same kind of interference has been taking place. I wonder if all you remember when it had a by-election in Barataria and Belmont, Remember when Sharon won that election in Barataria? When the UNC beat the PNM going and coming? We had to threaten legal action because the sitting councillor died and they're going about like nobody's business and people were without representation. Recently again in Penal, where Kimraj won and ran and won, the UNC had to threaten legal action for the government to call the local elections that were due. So the UNC have a right to ask, why is the EBC report being hidden? Why is the EBC report not coming to Parliament? And at that time, we asked on the Monday night meeting, we asked in Parliament, and they get on like if we're making trouble for nothing. The same thing they're doing with the RIC consultations, as Rudy just explained. We asked, why would the PNM hide the report? We said it was either pure incompetence. They just don't know the work, they're just messing up all around. We said it might be lack of interest. They don't care for local government, they don't care for councillors, they don't care for the burgesses who live within the area who want to vote. We said that it might be to suppress democracy. Again, it took the political leader of the UNC on a Monday night forum, it was virtual at the time, threatening legal action on a Monday night. And you know by Wednesday, supplemental order paper, suddenly it magically reappeared. So today we have the answer. We know why the EBC report was being hidden. Because they had planned to postpone the local government election. They had no intention of debating the boundaries. Elections was due at the end of last year, December 2022, because the last one was in 2019. And they had already planned to postpone the election. So when Alwari come with his hogwash, when he come with all this fancy explanation to tell you why they are postponing the election, I want you to know it is because they are afraid to face the electorate, because they know they will get blows going and coming anytime they call an election. The EBC is supposed to be an independent body. Today, Christine Kangaloo was sworn in as President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The President of our country has as part of their duty to appoint independent bodies, including the EBC. Today, I call on Madam President Christine Kangaloo to ensure that the EBC and other independent bodies in this country do not become puppets of the PNM and the government. It is not far-fetched to ask for that, because we are seeing what is happening with the DPP. We are seeing what has been happening with the police. This government has been abusing their power and pressing the DPP because they depend on taxpayers' dollars. I want to tell you, Mr. Rowley, that is not your money. That is taxpayers' money. That is the money belonging to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So don't use it to pull anybody's strings and make puppets out of our independent bodies. The EBC, the DPP, the Integrity Commission, the Police Service Commission, all these independent bodies must remain independent. And the former PNM minister, who is now president of this country, has a duty to ensure that the PNM does not interfere with these. And the UNC will remain vigilant on behalf of the people of this country to ensure that that does not happen. We will not let you get a free pass, Madam President. Now, I digress a little bit, but I'm talking about local government. I was telling you that the PNM only knows local government when an election is due. That's the only time they care about councillors and things, you know. That is when you see them rushing to pave roads. Last time they get licks in Sandy Grande, but they were busy paving over mud. Today, I think it was Councillor Ryan Rampasad, sent a video of roads being paved, mud they're paving over, because they are rushing to show, pretend like they're doing work. All the time, regional corporations get no money to pave roads. But last year, during the mid-year review in Parliament, where they revised the budget and so on, the government came with a big announcement. They announced that they were giving $100 million to a special purpose company to pave roads. Mind you, at that time, the special purpose company wasn't even registered yet. We don't know who the directors are. We don't know which PNM friend and family going to be put there to carry out the PNM dictates. But they give it $100 million. We say, all right. 6 months later in the budget, the last budget of September 2022, the government come back again and they announce that they're giving a next $100 million, taxpayers' dollars, to this same special purpose company. Mind you, they didn't pave a road yet, but they get more money. So they're up to $200 million now. From September, when that budget was read, to today, not a single road has been paved under that special purpose company. Not a single one. You know what they do? You know what's the latest development? They move it from under local government to put it where? Under Rohan Sinanan in Ministry of Works. So Faris Alwari, well, I am not complaining on Faris' behalf, because he was the most incompetent Attorney General. He's now the most incompetent Minister of Local Government. He can't pave road, he can't pave pothole. I told him already, pocket squares don't fix potholes. Regional corporations have been collapsing under Alwari. So he has not performed. They take away the $200 million and they put it under Rohan Sinanan. So I want to ask now if that is going towards the Balize House slush fund. Are the companies who will get contracts going to be required to give kickbacks to complete Balize House as other contractors have been forced to do? Are the contractors who will get contracts under this special purpose company going to give kickbacks to the PNM for the upcoming local government election campaign? Are these kickbacks going to enrich the big boys and the ministers and the friends, families and financiers? The PNM must answer. But I want to tell you, while the PNM, friends, family and financiers are fattening their pockets, citizens are suffering. You know, in December recently, 3 months ago, we had devastating floods. St. Augustine constituency, right here in Caroni East, St. Helena, Kelly Village. People were submerged in flood. I saw a media report from the Public Administrations and Appropriations Committee in Parliament, where they said that out of the 5,454 flood relief applications made in 2022, guess how many checks were made out thus far? Only 1,222 out of the 5,454. You're talking about 22.4% of the people who were devastated by flooding. 3 months now, and they only now get a check. What about the rest? When will the rest of flood victims get their compensation? When it comes to flood victims, you have 3 categories. You have people who get a phone call from the ministry and they collect their money. Some people got as little as $2,500. You can't even buy a stove with that. You can't buy a washing machine with that. And these people lost every single thing. You have people who got a phone call but no checks. So they tell them, you're in the system, we come in here, wait. In other words, keep quiet, don't make no noise. We come in soon. This is a movie, we come in soon. Then you have people who will get a single phone call, they didn't hear no word. But when we inquire on their behalf, or when they go to the ministry, they cannot find their name. These people are being told that they were kicked off the system. And so I am calling on the Minister of Social Welfare to tell the nation and the flood victims when they will get their compensation, and I call on you to do it soon. The PNM is going to face a local government election just now. They have made no improvements in local government.
Yeah.
They are mashing up local government. It was Kamla Prasad Bisesa who empowered councillors, empowered by, when she was Prime Minister, by giving them offices, vehicles, secretaries to serve the people in their electoral districts better.
Yeah.
It was under Kamla Prasad Bisesa, win, lose or draw, elections were called on time.
Yeah.
The PNM continues to suppress democracy. Local government elections is coming, and Trinidad and Tobago, we must show our disgust to the PNM.
Yeah.
We must vote against the potholes. We must vote against the increased electricity.
Yeah.
We must vote against PNM financiers fattening their pockets.
Yeah.
We must vote against high food prices. We must vote out the PNM. I am Khadijah Ameen. I am UNC, and I am proud. Onward to victory.
Yeah. This is the message to the nation.